Actually, there's no need for me to change that off screen. I can do it right here. You want to see that too. Let's do a conf t over on R1. Let's go to router 1 and take care of this. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and shut the interface. And we'll let it go through its folder all there. And there we go. Serial down. Administratively down, of course, means we've shut it down. Conf t. And I'll go through my up arrow here to use my previous commands. Control A to go to the front. And I haven't changed any of the interface level commands. The only thing I'm doing is changing what's in the database. And let's run our show debug command. We're still running debug authentication. Up and it's nowhere near as good as it was before. And we are going to get a lot of these messages. We're getting one every 2 seconds, as you can quickly see. So I will type you all there. Well, if you type undebug all or you all for short, when you type that and you still get some output, don't think it's not working because some of it's already been buffered and it's going to come up anyway. It's just actually stopping the active debugging. Now this, of course, there wasn't much here, but with some busier debugs like say debug IP packet, you can run you all and you'll get 10 more screens of stuff because it is that verbose. Now, let's see what happened here. We had a couple of challenges, and we had a couple of responses, and then we had a failure. And failure is never good here. MD/DES compare failed is a perfect tip-off that there's a password issue. Because something else could be wrong. We'll look at that in the next lab. But whenever you see the message digest/DES compare failed, that just means flat out your password's wrong. Now you're going to see a full set of those messages every 2 seconds with the debug, as I mentioned here on the screen. So when you troubleshoot, you might want to turn that debug off. I think that would be an excellent idea. Also, what you could see is you could see the physical state of the interface begin to flap. And I've mentioned that a couple of times throughout the course about a flapping link. And this is what it looks like. I can put one here on the screen for you. You know, change state to down. Then 2 seconds later, it came back up. Then 12 seconds later, it went back down, and then 2 seconds later, it went back up. That's the kind of thing we don't want. You know, that's why STP has those built-in delays we talked about, because if this were spanning tree protocol, which of course it's not, but if you had ports doing that, if something went just drastically wrong with the hardware, then that's where you could get a switching loop in if STP kicked over immediately. So, little bonus reminder there. And again, if you see that, I would shut the interface down completely while you fix the config. This debug also illustrates a very important point. CCNA in lowercase and CCNA in uppercase are not the same password. My recommendation to you in your lab work and your practice is that you decide whether you want to put all your passwords in uppercase or all of them in lowercase, and then you never have to worry about it in a lab environment. Now in an exam, of course, I would be ready to spot that, because it's easy to think, oh, they're the same password, or just to gloss over it when you're checking out a config. But as we saw, they are not the same password. So let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to shut the interface down again. I'll go through my last couple of commands here. We're going to take that off. And in case you're asking yourself, hey, how come we didn't get 2 messages there? Well, the line protocol was already down because of this failure. So the physical interface went down, but the line protocol, we didn't get a message about that because it was already down. So we've got our password back. Everything looks good there. Oh. See if I get it there in time. Did I get it in time? Let's see. Yep, it went up that quickly. I turned the debug off and didn't turn it back on. But we can just make sure we see everything is up, so we know that everything worked just fine. But just to get another look at that output, we'll do a shut and then a no shut. And there is our debug, and we've got 2 challenges, 2 responses, 2 successes. It's a beautiful thing. The line protocol is back up too, as we expected, so everything is fantastic. We're going to do one more lab like this coming up in the next video, and we're going to change another factor that might just screw up our little PPP CHAP config. I'll see you there.